It's Halloween night, a time for fun and frights. But what if the real terror isn't out there in the dark? What if it's lurking closer than you think? Tonight, I'm going to share 3 of the most disturbing, spine-chilling Halloween horror stories. These stories have left their marks on those who dare to speak about them, and they might just haunt your dreams. Are you ready to hear the truth? Or will you be too scared to sleep tonight? Story 1. The House on Cedar Lane. Haunting. It was Halloween night in a small town, and the house on Cedar Lane had always been a mystery. Its looming silhouette cast a shadow over the neighborhood, and every year, rumors about strange sounds and eerie occurrences grew. People said that the house had been abandoned for over 40 years, but locals swore they heard footsteps coming from inside when no one was supposed to be there. No one ever dared to go inside, until 3 teenagers decided to challenge the rumors. They walked up the creaky wooden steps of the house, the door groaning in protest as they pushed it open. Inside, the air was thick, almost suffocating. It was a ghostly silence that seemed to seep into every corner of the room. Dust and cobwebs covered every surface, but there was something alive about the space. It was as if the house itself was waiting for them. One of the teens walked ahead, feeling a chill that made the hair on his neck stand on end. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon an old mirror, its frame cracked and covered in grime. One by one, they peered into it, but as the last one looked, his face went pale. In the reflection, there was something behind them. Someone. But when they turned, the room was empty. Fear set in, and they rushed for the door, but it slammed shut with an ominous bang. The walls seemed to close in on them, and the house itself seemed to be shifting, trapping them. Panic took over. The floorboards creaked with every step as they searched for an escape, but it was as if the house was alive, playing with them. One by one, they vanished from sight. The local authorities searched for days, but they were never found. It's said their souls are still trapped inside, wandering the halls, forever cursed by the house. Some say if you venture too close, you might hear their whispers calling your name. But the question remains, what really happened to them? And is it safe to go back? Story 2. The Pumpkin Man. Urban legend. Halloween wasn't always about costumes and candy. In one small town, there was a legend that haunted the streets every October 31st. The legend of the Pumpkin Man. This mysterious figure was said to appear every Halloween, wearing a pumpkin as a mask and dragging a rusty, blood-stained scythe. No one knew who he was or where he came from, but every year, the sightings increased. On one fateful Halloween night, a young man named Jacob, who had heard the stories but never believed them, decided to investigate. He followed the trail of rumors that led him deep into the woods, hoping to catch a glimpse of the infamous Pumpkin Man. The night was dark, the wind howling through the trees, and the air grew colder as he approached the clearing. Suddenly, there he was, the Pumpkin Man, standing tall in the middle of the woods, holding his scythe. But this time, something was different. For the first time, Jacob could see the figure's face, or rather, what was left of it. The pumpkin had been removed, and underneath, Jacob saw a face twisted and deformed beyond recognition. It wasn't just the mask that was frightening, it was the eyes that burned with hatred and madness. Before Jacob could react, the Pumpkin Man took a step toward him, and the ground beneath Jacob's feet seemed to tremble. The air felt thick with dread, and before he could scream, the figure disappeared into the shadows, leaving only a cold, oppressive silence behind. Jacob vanished without a trace that night, and no one ever saw him again. Some say the Pumpkin Man still roams the woods, waiting for the next victim to challenge him. But here's the terrifying part. They say if you see him, he'll follow you home, no matter how far you run. And when you least expect it, he'll be there, watching, waiting for you to make the mistake of thinking you're safe. Story 3. The Haunted Costume. Cursed Object. It all started with an innocent Halloween costume. A simple, vintage Frankenstein outfit, worn by a young boy named Charlie in the 1950s. He loved wearing it, running through the streets on Halloween night, frightening his friends with his monstrous appearance. But one year, Charlie disappeared, and his beloved costume, it was left behind. The costume, made of cheap fabric and a rubber mask, seemed to take on a life of its own after Charlie's disappearance. People who found it at yard sales or thrift stores reported strange happenings after purchasing it. At first, it was nothing more than unsettling dreams and strange feelings of being watched. But as Halloween night drew nearer, the nightmares became more vivid, and the people who wore the costume began to act differently. One woman, Sarah, bought the costume thinking it was a fun, quirky piece of Halloween history. But the moment she put it on, something changed inside her. It wasn't just the tightness of the mask or the weight of the fabric. It was a sense of something, a presence, a feeling of being controlled. She started hearing whispers in her ear, calling her by name, urging her to finish what he started. The more Sarah wore the costume, the more she began to lose herself. It wasn't long before she vanished on Halloween night, just like Charlie before her. Some say she's still out there, wandering in the streets, her mind lost to the curse of the costume. And every year someone else buys it, becoming the next victim in a never-ending cycle. These are just 3 of the most disturbing Halloween horror stories that have haunted people for generations. But what about you? Do you have your own terrifying tale to share? I want to hear your creepiest experiences. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And remember, next Halloween, when the clock strikes midnight, you might not be alone.